Hi.
Hi.
Where should we start today?
So I've been kind of, I've always kind of realized that I apologize a lot. Like things that I shouldn't even necessarily apologize for.
What made you think that recently?
Well, I don't know what kind of brought it on. It's something that, I guess what brought it on is I've just thought about who I am and sort of how balanced I am between sort of just how the energy that I bring and interactions. I like the diplomatic energy that I bring in, but I sometimes think whether I am being too deferential in interactions, and this comes in work, personal life, so in all interactions. I just wonder if I'm being deferential and whether if I can change the dynamic a little bit, whether that would give me more leadership. Maybe I can be more of a leader. So that's why I'm thinking it's something, a small adjustment of not apologizing for so much. Would that make me seem like a better leader?
Okay, so this is something that's been bothering you recently.
Yeah. Well, it's I think a lot about character development and who I want to be, where I'm at now, and my strengths as a person now, but also who I also want to be and how I want to grow.
That's a really big question. Who do you want to be?
I think at work I would like to be viewed as more of a leader, and less as in the group dynamics, just sort of facilitator. I also have ideas and wanting to lead the group, be sort of the chief diplomat, but also the leader in the group, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. What does a leader look like to you?
Consensus builder. So someone who kind of listens, takes in sort of takes in all the ideas and figure out the best idea from the group of ideas, and then have the decision based on the input and bring the group forward on that decision.
Where do you think you learned that from? Or who?
I think I learned a lot from just reading how Barack Obama was, how he sort of led his administration. Doing a lot of listening and asking questions, recognizing what he didn't know, recognizing that everyone in the room had something to contribute, and calling on not just the cabinet secretaries, but the people underneath, and seeing where's the dissent, what in the conflict of ideas, what's the way to go, and trying to getting out of the bubble, getting outside his own head bubble and his cabinet bubble, and finding different ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So that consensus building, reading about that, I really admire.
Okay. What's your earliest leadership memory? Yourself or someone else?
Probably, my parents in a lot of ways. Always leaders. I think kind of an easy situation to point out is the decision making on what to do during a vacation.
Can you tell me an example or a story?
Well,
Earliest that you could think of.
probably just the disagreement between balancing what my brothers wanted, what my dad wanted, and what my mom wanted. Just how there was, I feel like it was at the beach, like what to do at the beach, or what to bring, or when to go, or something like that. And what I remember is just sort of a struggle on who gets to be the person inside.
What's the most vivid part about that memory?
Yelling.
Yelling.
The yelling back and forth.
Who's yelling?
I distinctly remember my oldest brother, my mom.
Okay. You started describing the memory as dad focused, but the vivid part is your mom and your oldest brother yelling.
I don't remember saying that was dad focused. What about, did I say that was dad focused? Do you remember?
Like, who did you learn that from? Your parents? What's your memory? It's like my parents and then my dad. Your dad was the one that you brought forward first in that.
Okay.
Is that not? Does that not resonate with you?
It might be more because I was trying to decide whether it was my dad's family that he wanted to see or whether it was like a beach trip.
Mm-hmm.
And, and maybe there's just memories being meshed there because my dad really wanted to see my grandma, his mom, every month, and my mom did not enjoy going to see the Ryan family very much.
Mm-hmm. So it didn't resonate with you?
I would say that probably doesn't resonate.
That's okay to say in our time together. In fact, you don't have to justify my interpretation of it to me to make me feel better. You can just say, no, you interpreted that wrong. That's okay. Do you do this a lot at work? And is this a part of the leadership concerns you have?
Yeah, and like things that I would not notice that I do, but now that you mention it, it goes back to, even if I don't say the word sorry, it's more very much of a justifying everyone's position kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Babying everyone to get everyone to sort of, kind of baby everyone to like make sure everyone's feelings are okay.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about your family structure growing up. Like in this example, 2 brothers, a mom and a dad.
And then there's me, which is the youngest of the brothers, and then I have a younger sister.
Okay. 2 older brothers and a younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done much reading about birth order and how that could influence personalities?
Yeah, I haven't read, but I have certainly heard, and it makes sense. Sort of, middle children tend to be exactly like this. They tend to have that sort of consensus building, mediate, triangulate kind of dynamic.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a great tool to have when I need to use it. I guess I want to make a decision to use it rather than that controlling me. It's great that I can do that well, and I do it extremely well, and it really does benefit sometimes. But sometimes I want it to be a tool that I pull out of the toolbox to do what I want to get done as a leader, or what I feel like should be done, not what I want to do or what the group should do, rather than it just be controlling me and how I do things as a default and never being able to change things up.
Okay. So let's say we had a magic wand here today and we wave it so that tomorrow you wake up exactly like the leader you want to be. How would you come to know during living your life tomorrow that this wish had come true? I'm
actually kind of struggling on how to answer that. I don't know. And I think knowing a different way is kind of the difficult part for me.
I wonder if you could continue to take inspiration from other people, like the books you've read on Obama.
So pay attention to the leaders around.
Yeah. We all have things to learn from each other, right?
I think yes, and I'm just kind of thinking what the challenge will be from that. It'd be not viewing their leadership style through a prism of, oh, I understand. Like, not through the prism of how I lead, but truly think of it how they think of it, rather than how I see a problem.
Yeah. Whatever floats your boat. You know?
Right, but I don't want to, okay, well, he did, okay, so he sort of like, if I have a theory on how things are done, and every hammer I see, or every nail I see, I use the hammer of my theory to like say this is the hammer being the leadership model, and nail being a problem. There's only the one hammer for every nail, and when I see someone else tackle or face a problem, their hammer is I see the similarities of their hammer versus my hammer versus the differences.
How do you think you could bridge that gap?
I don't know.
I have an idea for you for your homework.
Okay.
So for the next week, I want you to just act as if you are the leader you want to be. And this can be just at work if you want, or other situations in your life that you want to apply it to. But just act like you're the leader you want to be. And take note of what that looks like, how it feels different, and I want to talk about that with you next time.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.